All horses snort, but have you ever seen a horse snort this? BoJack Horseman has a serious problem with drugs, you guys. And I'm here to find out exactly how much money his addictions have actually cost him. So follow along as we watch the stallion go from My Little Pony pothead to prescription pill popper to heroin horsey in desperate need of rehab. Let's kick this off with the softest drug BoJack has ever taken, pot. BoJack Horseman was once a beloved actor and star of the 90s sitcom Horsin' Around. The show actually lasted 9 seasons before being kicked off the air. BoJack's been a has-been ever since. Now that Hollywood no longer gives a crap about him, poor BJ eases the pain of his failed acting career by complaining constantly to pictures of himself and rewatching episodes of his sitcom while drinking and doing drugs. The episode Yes and is one of the many examples of this.
Hey guys.
Shut up, Todd.
BoJack, listen,
Hey, whoa!
Boo, party foul. You knocked over Buckingham Palace.
Come on.
Sorry, I'll clean that up later.
To be honest, BoJack isn't that much of a stoner, really. A problematic pill popper, on the other hand, now that's BoJack's style. So now I'm going to talk about his absolutely horrific addiction to prescription painkillers. If you're familiar with this show, you'll have already known that for a while there. BoJack was so addicted to painkillers, he'd pop them like every 3 hours, sometimes even more frequently. You'll also know that he hates his mom for being a stone-cold biatch to him since day one.
You know, I was beautiful before I got pregnant.
I know.
You ruined me, BoJack.
I know.
You better grow up to be something great, to make up for all the damage you've done.
I will.
Beatrice dies in the episode Free Churro, and BoJack delivers a long speech at her funeral. While 99% of the eulogy is just him bragging about himself, that 1% he actually spent talking about his mom was too much to handle, so he had to chug a bottle of pills right in front of all the guests.
There's a joke in there somewhere about a guy who's been to so many funerals, he doesn't even know what mourning means anymore. Let you guys figure that one out for yourselves.
The show never explicitly states what kind of painkillers BoJack uses, but since we know he's able to get high off them, they must be opioid-based, probably something like oxycodone or methadone. The average cost of prescription opioids per bottle is about $67.98, so that's what we're going to be sticking with. After finishing up the most ridiculous speech ever, BoJack finally realizes he's not even in the right frackin' room.
Is this funeral parlor B?
Will he take responsibility and apologize for ruining a random frog's funeral? Nah. PSA, guys, never mix prescription drugs, especially not with... Craziest stuff will go down, just ask BoJack. Following the events of the episode One Trick Pony, the world is loving the 2 chapters Diane leaked from BoJack's memoir. In the next episode, Downer Ending, BoJack is pissed at Diane for leaking the book and not writing him as some kind of god with 0 flaws.
See, people respond to the flawed portrait I painted of you. They see themselves in it. Why do you love Secretariat?
Because he was awesome?
No, because he was flawed. BoJack, when people find out that someone like you, who seems larger than life, is actually just as wounded and vulnerable as they are, it makes them feel less lonely.
Ugh, no. Maybe that's what flawed, sad fatties want from other celebrities. But from BoJack Horseman, they want a heroic horse stud who is awesome and who can save them from their flawed, sad fatty lives.
BoJack vows to rewrite the entire book himself, despite there being just 5 days to meet the deadline. And knowing just what a lazy piece of trash the stallion is, I think we all saw this coming.
Oh, Comic Sans, you drunk. Go home. 3:10. I just spent 6 hours playing with bunts. Holy sh**.
BoJack desperately needs something to help him focus. Coffee, tequila, and booze ain't doing nothing, and precious time is slipping away. But since he's incapable of making rational decisions, he decides to just mix a frick ton of cocaine with painkillers and hope for the best.
Sarah Lynn, I know things got kind of out of hand last time when I tried to make you stop doing drugs, so I just want to thank you for coming over this time to give me drugs.
Well, you can't go wrong with Doctor Who's drugs. They're from another dimension.
These are going to help me focus and get work done right.
Worried the drugs won't kick in fast enough, BoJack buys 3 more bottles just to be on the safe side, but they mysteriously disappear.
I want you to take 3 of these every hour and take 2 of these every half hour. Whatever you do, don't take more than 4 of these every 90 minutes. And take the first 2 of the 3 before you take the second 2 of the 4. And don't expose yourself to bright light or get wet.
Honestly, I'm not sure if that was impressive, deeply concerning, or just plain rude. Probably all 3. BoJack only bought 6 bottles of prescription opioids, but still spent over $400. Good heavens, man. Anyway, the painkillers and cocaine kick in, and BoJack and his team get to work writing the book. The junkies reach the final chapter, and you gotta hand it to BoJack. He's so committed to making his memoir a New York Times bestseller that he's literally willing to die right now just so Sarah and Todd will know how his story is supposed to end. And what could be a more gripping finale than to be brutally murdered by his former co-star?
Oh, yeah! Oh, yes! Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get you.
BoJack pulls out a gun, scaring Todd and Sarah Lynn. After almost blowing his own head off, BoJack has a shootout with Todd using brooms. From that, they somehow conclude they've solved America's gun problem, but what about the drug crisis?
Easy. We'll take them all. Yes!
Once the hallucinations finally wore off, he snapped back to reality in a parking lot. BoJack agreed to let Diane publish the original memoir. Let's just say his version didn't turn out quite right.
You got 20 pages of Doctor Who erotic fan fiction, a recipe for soup, 5 different theories about how 9/11 happened, and a bunch of embedded YouTube videos that can't possibly be printed in book form.
Okay, I gotta go.
Honestly, that sounds way more interesting than a book about BoJack's lame life. If you thought BoJack chugging down a mountain of pills in that last episode was proof that his painkiller addiction has spiraled completely out of control, buckle up, because the episode Ancient History shows how he's literally willing to risk death just to get those precious pills. After a DNA test confirmed Hollyhock was BoJack's half-sister, the siblings tried to start bonding. However, they hit a bit of a rough patch when BoJack's mom decided Hollyhock was a fat ass and secretly drugged her so she would lose weight.
Chub be gone
Takes the pounds right off.
this whole time.
Just until she learned to take it herself.
While Hollyhock's 8 adopted fathers vowed never to let BoJack see her again, the teen returns in the episode Ancient History, ready to give bonding another go. Unfortunately, drugs ruined everything yet again. Hollyhock has come to pay BoJack a visit, and she's still feeling a little anxious after being poisoned by Beatrice the last time she was here. Now that that old bat's in a nursing home, there's no need for Hollyhock to worry about getting drugged. or maybe there is.
What the hell are these?
What? Oh, those,
Why was this in your pocket? Are these for me?
No, Hollyhock, God,
Oh,
no.
God, did you put this in my pizza?
What? Of course not. Hollyhock, no. Give me the... No!
Oops.
So after clearing up that he's addicted to painkillers and wasn't planning on drugging his own sister, BoJack pretends not to care about losing his drugs. Kinda ironic considering he literally makes Hollyhock break into Gina's house and raid her frickin' medicine cabinet.
Well, I just been thinking that we should keep looking at this relationship. Like all parts of this relationship. Like even in the junk drawer, in the kitchen of this relationship, or the bathroom cabinet.
I told you I didn't want to see you.
I want you to know that you are top shelf, Gina. You know what I mean? Top shelf.
So what, you want to get back together?
Yes!
Wait, really?
Okay, I gotta run.
His sister doesn't steal the right pills, and Dr. Hugh isn't giving out prescriptions right now. Therefore, BoJack sees no other option but to check himself into rehab and sort out his drug addiction. Ha! Only kidding. He actually hides out under a shady bridge and waits for a dealer to bring him a huge bag of pills. BoJack can't wait to spend the rest of the night downing sketchy pills, but he can always count on the cops to ruin all of his fun.
We got the package. Run!
Assuming BoJack prepaid for his drugs, he deserves a refund for leaving empty-handed. Sadly, drug dealers don't have customer service available. So how much did all those pills cost him anyway? Well, getting them from the street is actually a lot cheaper than buying it as a prescription. Big shocker there. There were probably around 100 pills in that bag, which is equivalent to roughly 3 pill bottles. BoJack likely spent $100, which is way cheaper than a real prescription, but 100 times more dangerous. Anyway, BoJack drops Hollyhock off at the airport after wasting her entire visit chasing drugs. On the ride home, he starts experiencing withdrawal symptoms. He's desperate to start popping pills again, so desperate that he deliberately gets into a fracking car crash just so he can score himself another prescription. That car accident would have accumulated approximately $25,000 worth of damages alone. That's for BoJack's car and the store window he's liable for smashing right through. Presumably, BJ also spent at least one night in the hospital after the accident, which will cost him $2,883 in hospital bills, plus another $67.98 for the painkiller prescription he crashed his car to get in the first place. Yeah, he's got serious issues, alright. After Horsing Around was canceled, BoJack really struggled to find more acting jobs. He lived as a washed-up, depressed has-been for decades, but things started to look brighter when he landed a starring role as the horse detective in Filbert. In the episode The Showstopper, it's been 2 months since the first season of Filbert premiered, and it's surprisingly been a big success, despite the fact that BoJack can't act for
The chief's been murdered.
Oh, Filbert, that's awful.
Sassy, put on some pants, because this time, it's personnel. The only bottom I'm interested in right now is the bottom of this case.
Now that he's relevant in Hollywood again, BJ can't go out in public without getting swarmed by paparazzi. And he clearly doesn't care about the press finding out about his painkiller addiction, because he literally downs a bottle of pills right in front of the cameras while he's supposed to be driving, might I add. Back home, BoJack tries to get some shut-eye, but is too paranoid to fall asleep. Despite drug abuse being the cause of his psychosis, BJ ain't the smartest horse in the stable and tries to put his mind at ease by taking more painkillers.
BoJack, I know what's going on.
The hallucinogenic effects of the sketchy painkillers are still going strong the next morning, and what does BoJack decide to do? Well, swallow an entire bag of pills. I'm just in awe of his genius, really. And there I was thinking I was unhealthy for having a Pop-Tart for breakfast. After receiving a threatening letter in the mail, BoJack becomes scared that someone is going to expose his deepest, darkest secrets. Having screwed over and pissed off many people in his jackass life, the list of suspects to rule out is super long. BoJack's already high as hell, so solving this mystery is going to be a tough job. Accompany that with even more drugs, and there's no way dude's staying coherent enough to figure anything out.
Who would want to take down BoJack Horseman?
In the crazed, drug-filled mind of BoJack Horseman, all the writers of Filbert are conspiring to destroy him and are going to expose his secrets in the show's scripts. The paranoia eventually becomes too much to bear, so he flees the studio, popping pill after pill as he makes his escape. BoJack embarks on yet another wild drug trip, but makes it home in one piece anyway. His stranger-than-normal behavior lately has left Gina baffled, but everything finally clicks when she discovers all of his secret stashes.
Because I figured out what's been going on with you. I found one of your stashes in the toilet paper rolls, and then I looked around the house and found all your other clever little hiding places. How many of these do you take a day?
Hey, those are mine. Okay, I need those.
BoJack probably could have stuffed a bag containing around 300 painkillers inside that toilet roll. That's roughly the equivalent of 3 pill bottles, so he would have spent $203.94. Gina confiscates BoJack's pills and he chases after her like a lunatic before demanding his pills back, perhaps a bit too aggressively.
Gina, I'm not kidding. The pills. Now!
You're out of control.
Give them to me!
Let go! You're hurting me! Please.
BoJack, he said cut.
BoJack, buddy. I think he's really strangling her.
What? Oh no.
Gina, you okay?
Okay, that's enough.
What the f is wrong with you?
And you are dumped. Seriously, why was Gina even dating a horse anyway? It's taken being a horse girl way too far, if you ask me. The episode ends there, but who was the vile scumbag blackmailing BoJack anyway? Well, turns out everybody received that same exact letter because it was marketing for the fracking show.
Someone is trying to blackmail me.
BoJack, it's marketing. Everyone in LA got one. This is from the show. It's a copy of the note that Filbert gets.
I mean, I want to blame the drugs, but I feel like BoJack could still be that stupid while sober anyway. BoJack asphyxiating his girlfriend in front of everyone on set was already shameful enough. By the time the next episode rolls around, it just keeps getting worse.
Some crew members might have taken some video of the incident that could leak to the press at any moment.
Princess Carolyn tries to get everything under control by making BoJack and Gina sit down for an interview with Biscuits Braxby and tell the world that a real crime didn't take place and that they're just two very convincing actors.
Let's cut to the chase.
Oh my god, it's so embarrassing.
That video.
This is all a misunderstanding.
Really?
Biscuits, we're actors. It's what we do.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I gotta ask. Are you two an item?
Oh boy, looks like you got your scoop.
Busted.
Can you give us a kiss?
Sure thing.
What's it like dating your co-star? I bet sometimes, though, you want to strangle each other, right?
It's so great.
Oh, you bet.
Filbert ends up getting canceled anyway due to accusations of harassment from Henry Fondle, literal sex robot and CEO of WhatTimeIsItRightNow.com. I swear I'm not making this up. Out of a job and still overwhelmed with guilt over what he did to Gina, BoJack strives to become a better person. He asks Diane to write an expose about how he's a terrible person so he can feel like he's been held accountable. She's done doing anything for that horse, so if BoJack really wants to take responsibility for what he did, he needs to do it himself. But taking accountability definitely isn't as easy for him as taking pills is, though.
You need to take responsibility for yourself.
I don't know how to do that.
BoJack turns over a new leaf at the end of the episode and checks himself into rehab for 6 weeks so he can get sober. The video doesn't end here, so spoiler alert, rehab was a total bust. Poor BoJack doesn't have much going for him in life, but at least he had a luxurious house with a panoramic view of the Hollywood sign. I say had because in season 6, he was forced to sell the property after getting sued. BoJack later gets so drunk he actually breaks into his old home.
Why is everything so difficult? Have it your way, Dora.
And then immediately searches for drugs. Like, what else would he be doing?
Who put pills in my house?
Luckily, the new owners weren't home, so he was able to help himself to all the meds, vodka, and chips he could find.
What are you so happy about?
BoJack doing what he does best, being an absolute freaking mess. If we pretend BoJack got caught for that burglary, he'd have to cough up at least $130 to cover the cost of all the meds, booze, and snacks he stole. Then, of course, he'd be liable for smashing the glass door and obliterating the front gate. Those damages will add another 20 grand to his debt. And to think that that wasn't even the worst act of property damage he's committed in the name of drugs. That's a wrap to BoJack's pill-popping adventures, but this high horsey is far from done and takes on some of the most dangerous, hardcore drugs out there in the final stage of his junkie journey. Do not try this at home. BoJack has experimented with a variety of drugs in his 5 decades of life, but what's his favorite? My money's on anything that comes as a white powder, because in the episode That's Too Much Man, he literally shoots more heroin than Kurt motherfrackin' Cobain. More on that later. He snorts enough frackin' cocaine to overdose an entire frat party.
And Brad had a for the whole episode?
What? No.
You can totally see it in every scene. Cold open. Act 1. Commercial break. Hello, we're from the Wheaties Corporation. Back to...
Those 16 ounces of coke belong to Sarah Lynn, so at least BoJack ain't down like 50 grand. He's already wasted plenty of money as it is, though. Anyway, BoJack and Sarah's tolerance for drugs must be absolutely insane because they actually polish off all that cocaine and don't die from an overdose, despite taking it alongside weed, opioids, and hundreds of beers.
Hey up! What did I tell you?
That's not a it's a shadow.
Well, I think we all learned a valuable lesson today about the Armenian genocide.
The Armenian genocide. Too much, man.
All that booze wasn't enough because BoJack decides to drink a crate full of whiskey, and 31 hours later, he snaps back to reality in the most ironic of places.
Coffee, stale donuts, attention hogs telling boring stories about themselves. Jesus, are we at a 12-step meeting?
Now you're a detective? Last night you couldn't even solve the mystery of where the toilet is.
So all our partying was an elaborate trick just to get me to go sober?
No, Detective Pukes in the washing machine. You're here because I couldn't leave you alone in my house. And I had to come today. Gotta get my 9-month chip.
After taking the stage and confessing to almost sleeping with a minor, BoJack gets in his car and starts driving under the influence of basically everything. He almost kills every pedestrian on the sidewalk, and I guess that pound of cocaine he had earlier wasn't cutting it because he confesses to snorting bath salts and nitrates too.
You know what? This may be the nitrous and bath salts talking, but I want to do some more nitrous and bath salts. And then let's make some goddamn amends.
Maybe you should start with the family whose playhouse you just smashed.
Oh. Hey, kid, I'm sorry your lame dad built such a cheap-ass playhouse.
Nitrates are, of course, meds for heart pain, but those bath salts BoJack snorted aren't exactly the lavender-scented ones your grandma buys off Etsy. Bath salts is actually the name of a synthetic cathinone class of drug designed to mimic effects similar to those produced by cocaine and ecstasy. They're a lot cheaper than hardcore drugs, so BoJack probably spent around just $20. Moving on to the second half of the episode, it's revealed that BoJack Horseman is a huge deal in the Hollywood drug scene. There's even a frackin' brand of heroin named after him.
I'm BoJack. Please, put me inside you.
I'm not going to shoot heroin with you, Sarah Lynn. We can snort heroin like sophisticated adults.
Way ahead of you.
BoJack is already 90% coke and just snorted heroin that was probably 8% rat poison, so yeah, he's basically invincible at this point. The drug trip makes him bond closer with Sarah Lynn, and the two of them check into a hotel. Committed to making it through the night without becoming even 1% sober, BoJack buys plenty more bags of BoJack heroin.
We don't want anything from each other. You know, I could never figure out what love meant, but right now, I don't need to figure out anything. I just feel it. I love you, Sarah Lynn. Sarah Lynn? Sarah Lynn?
What?
Oh my God, thank God you're okay.
I'm not okay. I'm bored. This hotel room is boring.
If I play a little game of where's the heroin, I can spot 8 bags of BoJack in that hotel room. Heroin is very expensive, and in the US costs on average $307 per gram. Looks like BJ bought roughly 8 ounces of it in total, so that's $69,382 worth of heroin. Kurt Cobain who? BoJack has built up a massive tolerance to drugs over the years, so he has to only worry about draining his bank account and catching scabies from that one-star hotel room. Unfortunately, Sarah Lynn was no match for all the heroin she took, and, well, that episode was her last.
The only thing that matters is right now. This moment. This one spectacular moment we are sharing together. Right, Sarah Lynn? Sarah Lynn? Sarah Lynn?
Drugs and booze have made BoJack do a lot of terrible things. However, literally killing his friend with his own brand of heroin was definitely the worst thing he ever did. Well, that's a wrap to the crazy painkiller, weed, and heroin-filled adventures of BoJack Horseman, folks. Tallying up all the money he spent throughout every phase of his addiction, I can confirm that drugs have cost this junkie an estimated grand total of $124,657.28. This horse is definitely on the rehab's most wanted list. But what is this character wanted for? Well, click the screen to find out. Thanks for watching.